everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm so glad you're joining me for another 5 Easy Step card. We're making a Christmas card and we're using some new items from Simon Says Stamp. It's part of their And Everything Nice release. We have the Frosty Tree Gathering and we have a smaller stamp set called Mary. Has some bold, thick greetings in here that you can mix and match. And so we're just going to jump in and get started with our step number 1 and create our focal image, which of course will be these trees. We're going to cut out the trees twice. We're going to use pale green cardstock and some white cardstock. This is Spellbinder's Mint. And I'm just going to die cut out both of these and I'll be right back. I thought we would layer these together and add a little bit of white snow top at the very top. So I'm just going to bring in my glue. And we'll stack these together. And really that's all we're doing with our focal point. Pretty quick and easy. We'll put this to the side and now we're going to work on step number 2, which is creating our home panel. For my home panel, I'm bringing in a stencil set. This is a layering stencil set called Interlocking Circles. It's from Simon. And then I also have a piece of cardstock. We are going to do a little bit of stenciling with this stencil. We're not going to do any layering, just I'm going to use this one on its own. I've used this stencil before and there's pixie spray behind here. This is what pixie spray looks like. So I'm not going to need any extra adhesive. But I'm going to color this in with my Simon Says Stamp Marine ink. We're just going to use my blending tool here. And I thought the blue against the teal would be really pretty. And I'm going to concentrate on the middle and I'm going to spread out the color. I think blue and teal look so fabulous together. So let's take a look. And I think that's just the right amount of ink for my home panel. Okay, what I'm going to do next is take our trees. I'm going to flip them over. We're going to put some small foam squares behind here and I'm going to layer it right on the center of my home panel. Lovely. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my splatter box and we are going to add a flurry of snow here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to use my Pawsitively Perfect white splatter medium. We're just going to shake it up really good. And I'm going to add some snowfall here. Oh, that's a lot. And I loaded it up with snowfall here. Okay, I'm going to let this air dry because I think that's the best way to do this. I'm just going to put this away, clean this up a little bit, and then we are going to move along to step number 3 and create our greeting. For my greeting, we're going to use some leftover cardstock. This panel was actually a A2 panel. And it's Spellbinder's waterfall cardstock. I don't think I mentioned that, okay? I trimmed off 3/4 of an inch off the right and then 3/4 of an inch off the bottom. And we're going to actually use these strips to create our sentiment. So I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner. And we're just going to place these in here. And my greeting today with the Mary stamp set, we're going to stamp Christmas greetings. Let's go ahead and take these. We're going to do some heat embossing. I want to put this up here. With gold embossing powder. And instead of using a watermark ink, I have my white pigment ink from Simon handy. And the nice thing about the white pigment ink is you can emboss with this and you can see where what you've stamped. Just give this a good press. Oops. And then I'm going to go over each of these with my gold embossing powder. And then we will go over this one also. I'm going to bring in my heat gun and we'll melt these. Okay, now I'm going to bring in some ink. We're going to use the same ink that we use for our stenciling. This is again Simon's Marine ink. And then I'm going to use my blending brush and I'm going to add color at the bottom, kind of fade up. After we have this done, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and we are just going to trim these, blocking them off. And that is all there is to those greetings. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue behind here. And we're just going to layer these. No foam tape because we have foam tape behind our trees. And I thought we would just layer them in the center of these trees here. And I think I got the wrong spot. Let's flip-flop these. We're going to add them. And that is all there is to our greeting. Kind of seems like we're a little crooked. I'll try and fix this. And that's all there is to our greeting. Okay, let's put this to the side and now we're going to work on step number 4, which is creating our background. For my background, I die cut out a panel using the same waterfall cardstock using the Simon Says Stamp A2 Marquee dies. I love these because they have the holes around the edge. I do want to make those holes on the background white, so I'm going to bring in some white cardstock and I'm just going to layer a panel right behind it. This panel is just slightly smaller than my card base. And I want the edges of my card base to be a blue. So I have a piece of Spellbinder's Windy cardstock. We're going to mat this on the front. And then we're going to layer this right over the top. So we have that blue edge here. Okay, now we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm bringing in some stars. These are some tiny stars. These actually came in a Simon Says Stamp kit. And I think Simon sells these individually. They have a little bit... They're just little gold stars with a little bit of an iridescent tint. We're going to add these to the tree here. And then I'm also going to bring in some white twine. I'm going to wrap some twine around the bottom here. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over. And we are going to tack this down directly to the front of my card base. After this is adhered, I'm going to use my glue. And we are going to add some stars on our tree, just kind of spreading them out on the top and bottom. One last thing, we're going to embellish with some Nuvo crystal drops. These are simply white, and I'm going to add some 3D snowfall in the background with that splatter. Just different sizes. Okay, now before I call this card done, we're going to reroute. If you guys know me by now, you know I like to reroute if something doesn't flow right for me, and my greeting is just not flowing right. It's a pretty gold and it goes great with the stars, but it's not standing out. And so what I did was did the same thing, but this time I heat embossed with white. Okay, and we're just going, and I did pop it up with some foam tape. What we're going to do is just layer it right over the gold without ruining my Nuvo crystal drops. I think this just stands out a little bit better, especially with the snowfall, which I ruined a couple of my snowdrops. Let's replace them. Okay, and I just liking this the way, I'm liking the way this looks a little bit better. Since we popped up the greeting, I'm going to add a couple extra stars too. This will give me a little extra depth. Yeah. Okay, now I'm happy and I'm going to call this card done. What do you think? Like the gold better or did you like the white better? I always love to hear your feedback. that finishes my card project for today, including the rerouting. But have a wonderful day, and I have more fun projects for you, so keep a lookout for those videos. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.